Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
That's my jam. I'm not playing. Yes, it is. I got to ring the bell, y'all. I got to ring the bell. Hey. Good morning to you. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. I am feeling great about being alive. How about you? Can I get a name, man? Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. And I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris. And drop in the comments where you're at. I want to know, what part of the world are you repping? Put it in there. Let's get going. Listen, you all, why is this so important to me, what we're doing here? It's not just because I love you, and it's not just because I love to introduce people that I love to other people that I love, but it's because of that promise that says, that guarantees us, when two or more of us comes together and we've got that same mindset, that same heart set, you know what I'm talking about, that soul set of being of service to others. Something wonderful is guaranteed to happen. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, here it go. Now, the bell is rung. Listen, you all, it is a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Welcome to the 17th day of May. And I don't think I'd rather be anywhere else in the world. Well, maybe Fiji. I'm just saying. Who doesn't want to go to Fiji? Than here with you guys. So today is unlike any other day because every day is different. Today, I've got a wonderful guest. She's here for the very first time. And you know how we love those first timers here on Bathrobe Moments. There's a reason the theme for this year's show is Show Me Your Soul. And I'll show you mine. Is because when we feel like we're in a safe place, when we feel like we are with people that can pour into us and are willing to allow us to pour into them, we can tell it all. We don't have to stand behind shame, blame, any of those things that keep us from our divine truths. Can I get an amen? So today we have Missy. I'm going to have her say her name because I've never heard that name until I met her. Mysoline. Now I want to say Mysoline. Because I didn't want to tell her this. Okay. But when I first saw that, I was like, isn't that stuff you take? That white stuff your grandmother used to drink when she had upset stomach. That was milk and magnesia. So I was like, Mysoline, but I think it's Missaline because we call her Missy. And wow, what an authentic being she is. Let me tell you just a little bit. Now, I asked for a bio, but she speaks in the first person. So I'm going to read it just the way she sent it. She says, I am Missaline Monique, and I wanted to take a second to introduce myself to everyone. I'm a single mother of 2 young men, ages 14 and 19, and I'm also a serial entrepreneur. I love all things learning. I make every encounter a learning experience while living my life by this rule. I found myself to become a Jill of all trades. I love talking, meeting, and guiding people, which is one of the reasons I was led to starting my podcast, The Silent Fight. Write those words down. We're going to get into that. It's more than just a podcast. She says, my life coaching business, Francine's Heart. Oh, you have a life coaching business called Francine? I didn't know that. She goes, I'm dedicated to changing the world one heart at a time. Got to ring the bell. My focus, she says, while coaching my clients is getting them to accept the fact that they are absolutely deserving of living a full, happy, healthy, wealthy, and peaceful life. And I'm gonna tell you something. She didn't come up with some silver spoon in her mouth. She's been through some stuff just like the rest of us. Okay. And it didn't stop her. As a matter of fact, I think that's the thing that got her to where she is today. So listen, I'm not even going to play around with it. I'm not going to waste another minute. I want you to do what we do here. We welcome everyone that comes to pour into us by putting some hearts on the screen, but more importantly, put your heart into this conversation, won't you? Here we go. Put your hands together. Here she comes. Missy.
Good morning.
Okay. I can see you in the screen back there. That's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How you doing today, Missy?
I am amazing. How are you?
I'm awesome. Well, you want the truth?
Yeah.
I'm good now, but I wasn't so good when I woke up this morning. I was all in my head, because I was texting you last night. So you already know. I ain't going to Florida. Oh, Lord. Isn't it a wonderful thing that everything that is greater than us that we ascribe to is patient with us?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
if what is greater than treated me the way I treat myself sometimes, nothing pretty. Right? So hey, take a moment. I'm gonna dip out for a second. Take a moment. Tell everybody who you are, where you're at in the world, and then we'll get started. How's that sound?
That's cool.
Okay, all you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Missaline Monique. I am located in Naperville, Illinois. I am a motivational speaker, a life coach, and more importantly, I have a podcast called The Silent Fight. Good morning, Robert. Good morning. The silent fight is very important to me because I feel like we all are fighting something, be it finances or family issues, weight loss, weight gain, jobs, whatever it is. I wanted to create a platform where we can all come together and speak and give our opinions and receive different recommendations and opinions without bias. I want us to create a space where we can just love freely. The world teaches us that we are not deserving of love. We are not deserving of people that's genuine. And I just wanted to create a space where everyone is genuine, everyone is leading with love, and we could just be happy.
I think that's more than enough to get started. I love it. I love it. And I love you. Real quick before we dip inside the Ooey Gooey Chewy Center of
Okay.
Micheline. I like that now. I got it now. It's okay. It's got a flow to it, right? So
Thank
just want to say good morning to Sheena Johnson. Love those purple hearts. And I love your lip color in your picture. I love it. Isabel, Camacho Black, good morning for you. Time for my morning fix, she says. I feel you there. Let me ring. Oh, if you are here for the first time, what's that bell? What's that? Let me tell you something real quick. That bell is the bell of purpose. It's a real thing. Look, it even says it on it. The bell of purpose. Why? Because just like that bell, the truth has a ring to it. And I know that we're busy people. We get all caught up and we do a million things while we're watching this show. But I don't want you to get so caught up that you miss something that you should back the car up, put in the trunk, take it with you. That's the truth. So I'm going to ring it when I feel like, somebody done said something. Let's get it going. And I want to say good morning to you. Hello, Tia. Great Tuesday, everyone, she says. Have a blessed, amazing week. And Lori Whitney, always here. Sherry McQueen, good to see you. Yolanda Riley, one of my favorite people, a foster mother. I just love her. Yolanda, long time no see. We missed your face. Who else? Joe. Hello, Joe. Welcome, Joe. What is that? What is that? Oh, I'm trying to see what that thing. Oh, prayer hands. Thank you so much, Robert Brooker. Robert Brooker, good morning to you. Oh, Joe, you're in Texas. Greater Houston. Sugarland. Sugarland, is that a town? You ever heard of Sugarland?
No.
I like the name of it. I would like to visit Sugarland.
Sugarland.
Right. Just sounds like a fun place. Ellie Lawton, all the way from the UK. I love you, Ellie. And we'll have to hit me up. Let me know how you're doing today. Should we text back and forth? And James, wait, I know that didn't say James. James Cooley from the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life with James Cooley, you guys, premiering actually tomorrow right here on the E360 television network. James, I'm going to try to pull up your show opener if that's okay with your permission, or do you want to wait and show it tomorrow? I'll let you do it when you debut, and then we'll start playing it daily here so you guys can get over and check out James and his beautiful wife, Michelle. Now, Facebook user, I don't know who that is, but I love your purple hearts, and thank you for being here. And then my good friend in New Mexico, Bernadette, good morning to you. Miss your face as well. So, Missy, we like to, before we get into the silent fight, because I'm anxious to allow you to pour into us about what that is. I love, what'd you say, James? Show please. He's so country. Where's his book? His book is right here. I have it right here. Country Boy, City Boy. And you see, he live up to it. Okay. Show, what is it? James, we love you. James Cooley, you guys. A retired.
Good morning, James.
Yes. James I just love him. He's like my new brother. For real. I just love him. I can't wait to see him in Atlanta in a couple weeks when we both go there. Oh, Lord, I still have trouble saying it. Y'all know why, to get that paper, that honorary doctorate. So good to see you here, James. So, Missy, let's go ahead and start with, tell us a little bit about what was it like when you were a little girl? Is this what you dreamed of being or doing?
I did.
Really?
I did. It didn't hit me until maybe a week prior to getting my event space, right?
What didn't hit you?
That this is what I've always wanted to do. You know how you fantasize as a child and then you kind of grow up and you let the world tell you this is not what you're supposed to be doing. Yes. And then you kind of bury that dream and then you start focusing on other things.
Yes.
Right. So when the young lady the other day asked me, was I musically inclined? I used to sign up for all the talent shows in school. Oh. I used to do all of the assemblies, all the spelling bees. I've just always wanted to be on stage. So I've always believed in doing it scared because I was terrified. Mm-hmm. But it was something that the other little kids wasn't signing up to do. So I wanted to do it. Right. Mm. So it's always been in me. I just let the world tell me, you know, with paparazzi and everything and all the negative things that I see with celebrities. I was like, I don't want to put my life in the public side like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So this is something, so you're saying it was always in there. You had considered it, and then it kind of got pushed way back in the line, and now it is back up. It fought its way back up to the front.
It did.
Okay. I love that because that is available to all of us. Listen, go back to the beginning. See, that's why I always tell people, you know, it kills me when I get someone's book, like they're going to be on the show and they send me their book ahead of time, and it says, it all started when I was 24 years old. And I'm like, well, then you should be in the Smithsonian as the first 24-year-old baby that was born. Oh, off topic, y'all. It's my ADHD. But guess what? Wait till you hear this. I had a meeting with a young man yesterday who is a phenomenal musical artist, singer, songwriter, and just as shy as can be. And we were on the thing, he divulged that he's a twin, right?
Okay.
And he's a twin. They were both 1 pound each, and they were born 1 week apart from each other. So they're twins, but they have the 18th and the 25th as birthdays. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
That did you ever know that you could be twins and have birthdays a week away from each other?
No, I thought once they come out, then they're just out. I mean, you know,
they were premature. Yeah, so one came out, the brother, and then they held him in there for a week.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait to get him on here. That's going to be a great story, you guys. A great story. Yeah. Jordan Thomas is his name. So keep your ear to the ground. So back to you. Speaking of babies, you have 2 of your own, but I saw them in person, and they don't look like babies, but they're your babies. Tell us about what it's like. What's it been like specifically being a single mother of 2 Black men? Because I know I've got some friends they're women who are for the last 15 years or maybe even longer, but they've been it's a scary thing for a Black mother to have 2 Black sons or a Black son or any amount because of the way this world is. How have you been dealing with it? Tell us about that.
It's been great. It's been great. It hasn't been scary for me.
I want you to talk about that stuff you were saying at the house Friday.
With that,
tell them, look, I'm going, that whole thing. I love that. Can't nobody do that. No offense to all of you who are not of color. I'm just saying this is a real thing. But Black mamas have always been able to be the mother, the father, the grandparent, the auntie, the uncle, the principal, the policeman, the judge, and also mothers to babies that don't even belong to them.
Yeah.
So tell us about this thing, because I think it's a great lead in to your what do you want to call it? I'm talking about the silent fight.
Okay.
That's your purpose.
Okay.
Talk about that, because boy.
With my kids, so I'm a single mother of 2 boys. They're 14 and they're 19 years old. So when I had my first son at 19, I'm gonna try to give it to us quick. So, so I had my first son at 19 years old, but the first time that I was actually pregnant, I was 17 years old, and the baby almost killed me. And I ended up having to terminate because the baby was literally killing me. So when I went to the doctor, they goes, if you didn't decide to do this, you would have had to be put into a coma because I haven't eaten or drank anything for like 2 months. Right?
What?
Yeah. So I was 17.
Wow.
Now I didn't want a baby at 17 years old, but then once they took it from me, now I wanted to be a mom. Right. And so after that, I end up getting blessed with Kevin. And so I dedicated everything to Kevin. I was determined to be the best mom. I couldn't even walk. And I got up and I put on some gym shoes that was really comfortable. And I went and found me a job. So I've literally been working since Kevin has been 5.5 months old.
Wow.
So then 4.5 years later, well, let me take it back. So 2 years later, I end up getting pregnant with twins. I get pregnant with twins. The kids almost kill me again. One miscarried and the other was in my tubes. And so I had to be rushed off to surgery, and they sat me down and they said, Miss Brooks, I don't want to, you can't have any more children naturally. If you ever conceive again, it'll be through in vitro. And so I said, okay. So all I heard was, I can never do this again. And you see how my mind works? If you tell me I can't do it, now it's a challenge. So I end up really wanting this baby at 24 years old. I'm unstable. I live with my mom. The dad is not, what he's supposed to be, but I really wanted my baby. And so me and the dad break up. We get back together. We have sex one time. My son is conceived. Didn't know I could have them. Go to the doctor because I told him. I said, yeah, I'm pregnant. He said, well, you know what the doctor said, you're not pregnant. I said, yes, I am. So go to the doctor and they said, yes, Ms. Brooks, you are pregnant. So I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And then they say, but you're not going to be able to have him because he's in the tubes. We think this is a tube baby again. Yeah. So because I had the major surgery the first time, they didn't want to do it like that. They wanted to give it a week, watch it grow, and then come and do internal work before they do that. Right. So when I go back a week later, they go, no, mom, you're going to have this baby. The heartbeat is strong. Let's go. So I'm like, okay. I call the dad and I'm like, yes, the baby's okay. Mind you, we cried together. We cried together because we couldn't have a baby. He goes, you need to have an abortion. Because I don't know if that's my baby. And I said,
okay, he trying to lose his teeth.
I said, you have another baby on the way. I'll see you at delivery. No. So that's my kids. But prior to Messiah, 1 month before, I started getting deep into church. And I really wanted this baby. I didn't know, I couldn't afford a baby, but I really wanted him. And I started getting into church. My sister, every Sunday, she's like, Miss, you want to church? Now she know I ain't going to church. So I said, seriously, my sister every Sunday. So y'all going to church? You going to church? I'm like, I ain't got time for that. I got to work. I got all excuses. But I wanted this baby. So I went to church and the pastor was talking about leaving it on the altar. He said, you ain't really leaving on the altar if you go up there and tell God what you need and then you go back home and then you worried about it. You have to really leave it on the altar.
It ain't that easy, but it is what is necessary. Go ahead. And
so I said, okay, because I follow directions. So I went up there and I said, God, just one more time. Just one more time. I just want my baby one more. I don't care if it's a girl or boy, I just want my baby one more time. So when they told me I could have my baby, I said I wouldn't spit in God's face like that. They told me I couldn't do it. God said that I could. God said I could. So when I tell you, when we was talking the other night, when I was telling you, you never heard the story. I don't play with my children. Because statistics say these young Black boys are supposed to be uneducated. They're supposed to devalue themselves. They're supposed to fear the law. I got a degree in criminal justice. I teach my kids the law like I learned the law. You understand what I tell you? I teach my children how to walk out into this world and be respectable young men. I always tell my children, you won't be beauty and no brains. You see my children, they're rather handsome. I don't let them play on that. I don't let them kids come home and talk about other children because guess what? Everybody's not blessed to have a parent like you have. You're not blessed to have a parent like you have. If I chose the road that your dad took, then you wouldn't have anybody. Then people will be talking about you. So we don't allow that in this house. But what you were talking about when you said they came home because I had a lot of stuff going on and I told my children to get a position. I need y'all to do what you need to do because I got to go over here to Lauren's house, the people that we met before. So Messiah had a gala and I had to rush home and me and Kevin had to get them ready. And then when I was at Lauren's house, he said, oh, is the kids at home? I said, yeah, they at home. He said, they didn't sneak out or nothing. I don't play with them.
Right.
I don't play with them. I give those kids what they want, when they want it, and how they want it. That's what I work for. That's what I work for. But in return, I'm going to get a respectable young man. I'm going to get a man that the police don't want to shoot. I'm going to get a man that at 19, I've never had anybody call me and tell me Kevin and Messiah have been disrespectful or disobedient. Okay? Because I told them early on that when you disrespect somebody in the street, just remember you're disrespecting me. So when you said, do you take phones and do all that? I don't do all that because I don't have to.
Say that then.
Because I don't have to. I'm children do what you allow. And I'm not putting them out. Remember, we talked about that. He's 19 years old. He don't have any sense of direction, but he's not a bad kid.
Right.
He's not a bad kid. He just has no motivation and no drive. I'm not about to discard my baby because he did the same thing I did. That's not fair. My mother loved me into the woman that I am. She didn't discard me. She
Come
didn't make
on.
me feel bad about my decisions. I told my sister when I got pregnant at 17 years old, I was always the child that was a straight A student in everything. I wanted to do everything for my mom. I
Yeah.
always wanted to make her proud of me, right? And when
Mhm.
I got pregnant, I thought that I said, oh my God, I don't know. She's going to hate me. She's going to hate me. So I wrote her a letter. I wrote her a letter to tell her because we've always had an open door where don't let the streets come tell me nothing about you.
Mm.
And she showed me. She showed me that she was my number one supporter. She showed me that I can always depend on her and she'll never judge me. So I sent her a letter. And guess what? She wrote back. She
What,
didn't say, Missy, come here. She wrote back.
what did she say?
She said, who's the dad? And why are you having this baby? She said, if you are having this baby to keep a man, don't do it.
Mm.
She said, but if you having your baby for you, then congratulations. We B&B, we all we got. You don't got to depend on nobody. Have you made a doctor's appointment? And I said, no, ma'am. And you don't know. I just realized I was talking to my sister last month and I broke down and I said, she don't know what that did for me. She don't know what that did for me.
Mm-hmm.
And she let me stay home. She didn't send me off to no school where the girls was being mistreated. Because back then, remember, they had the pregnant schools.
Uh-huh.
She allowed me to keep my dignity. She allowed me to keep my dignity.
Boy.
Yeah.
Wow. Oof. Oof. One word. Girl. You see, look, I ain't playing with it. Oh my goodness, Missy. Wow, I just love that. Oh, y'all, look, you already know we just getting started. Listen, we're gonna go on a short break. And when I say short, I mean short. So don't go too far. And if you go get coffee or go to the bathroom, be back within 60 seconds if you can. Now is also a wonderful time to be of service by hitting the share button and getting this out there. There's still much more to come with this intriguing and enlightening and illuminated conversation with Misty. So listen, when we come back, let's go into the silent fight because I love it. Everything from the colors to the name of it to the lips with the zipper. I want to get all into it because I know you just didn't reach into a grab bag and pull what we see behind you out. You were led there. So when we come back, we want to find out what the silent fight is all about. Listen, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link.
Hey, welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm going to get in trouble because I'm supposed to be doing the V8 commercial right now, but I drink up more. You get one for every day. They send you a voucher, right? And I drank some when I wasn't supposed to, but I always keep a picture of the can so I could like throw it up on the screen. Done deleted. I guess I drank that too. So anyway, I'm gonna just try it like this, you know, V8, 60 calories. It's 2.5. They just added an extra half serving of vegetables into every can. It is a great thing, 100% pure vegetable juice from concentrate. and it's easy to find. Just head down the juice aisle at your local grocer and get yourself some. Don't wait until it's too late when you have to say, oops, I could have had a V8. Get one, right? Get a 6-pack. And tomorrow, I promise I'll have a real one here. She's back. Hi, Missy. So I want to let's start by talking about, because you got it all through all your stuff. And we're gonna drop some links, you guys, so you can follow Missy. But you have it in there that you're a hustler, boss lady, hustler. And do you remember what I asked you when I was watching you out on the deck Friday night? The way you were talking, the way you talk about your hustle and stuff, I was like, wait a minute. Did you have a boyfriend that was a drug dealer? Because you know I had that 14-year drug addiction. I ain't no shame in my game. Everything that I ever went through, I bless it, I receive it, because it led me to y'all. That's what it did. So I don't believe in mistakes. God does not make mistakes. God makes it interesting.
Absolutely.
Okay, so talk about that. So if I say to you, ever dated a dope boy? Tell people what a dope boy is.
I said, of course.
Yeah. Sure did. Didn't even hesitate. Didn't blink. Nothing. Sure did. What about it? Go ahead. Tell us about that. What was that life like?
So for me, it was just the everyday life. Lauren asked me, like, have you ever held the drugs or anything like that? No, I've never done that. I've never been that girl. I have never been the type to sell drugs for other people. I was never going to get in trouble for anybody else. That wasn't what I chose to do. Now, I was attracted to a drug dealer, not because he sold drugs, but because of the strength that I thought that he had. I thought that he was somebody that was well respected. He always had money. Basically, the power of a drug dealer is what I was really attracted to. I've always been strong, so I always thought that those are the people that I needed to keep me safe. If I was dating you, I needed to feel safe with you. So that was the route that I chose. But I was never the girl that I sat on the block to look cute, got my hair done. No, I was the one.
I was.
I wasn't that person. I went to the family events, and I was the one that they took to the respectable events. I didn't do the other stuff.
Yeah, I found that really interesting. And I just want to say, I did it because in my addiction, I had the same drug dealer for 6 of those 14 years. And it was the last 6. And I'm going to tell you, if it wasn't for him, he was an astute businessman. I mean, took care of his whole family, invested, wasn't trying to be showy. And why I'm so grateful to him, God rest his soul, Buff, he passed away from Lou Gehrig's disease. And I actually spoke and sang at his funeral. And I'm still friends with his family. His father's passed away. But he used to do things for me when he would see me getting out of line. And he would say, Lauren, you do that one more time, I'm done with you. You know what I'm saying? You are not going to turn into a fiend on my watch. And he really was, I'm telling you, when I was in there in that dark space, see, that's the thing about what's greater than us. It doesn't matter where you're at. What is going to save you or has the possibility to help you is in there with you. And it came in the form of this dealer named Buff. And he used to tell me all the time, I see something in you. You know, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And I just am so grateful for that, man. I know that sounds like something you could never wrap your mind around, but you don't have to. Like I said earlier, I bless everything. Those people that lied on me, that shitted on me, talked about me then, still talking about me. It doesn't matter, because you know what all those experiences and people did? Missy, they led us to each other.
Yes.
They got us here.
Yes.
And isn't that the most important part, that we got here? Yes. Not everybody gets within their divine purpose. And I know that every single soul desires to walk, live, and serve through their divine purpose. And it's such a wonderful, sacred place that all you got to do is just touch it, just smell it, just sense it one good time. And you'll never forget. You'll never want anything else.
You'll never want anything else.
Nothing else, right? If you know what divine purpose feels like, or you want to say amen, in the comments.
Yeah.
Put it out there, right? So tell us about how you've used your hustle sense to build all these wonderful things, doors, if you will, in which to be of service to others. Talk about that.
So basically I was doing it blindly. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't
Like
intentional.
blind faith.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional. And so everything goes back to Kevin and Messiah.
Your
You
boy.
know, I prayed for these children and God gave me these children. And so there's a certain level of anger that I get when I'm talking about their dad, because I just told you guys the backstory, you know, and for somebody to sit there and cry with you and play with you and tell you, I want you to have my children, and then you to walk out and be disrespectful enough to not, I don't care about a relationship. I care about the relationship with you and your children. I gave 13 and a half years of my life to keep that relationship together. I endured a lot to keep that relationship together. So with me saying that, when I realized the type of man he was, I instantly went and put him on child support. And then I said, okay, it's not doing me no good. And I said, you know what? Because I always, even without knowing, I've always been a person that made sure that the decisions that I made, it wasn't malicious. I didn't want to put him on child support. I did it as a punishment. And so I prayed one night, because when it comes to my kids, I let God humble me every time. I don't fight it. When it comes to those kids, when it comes to those kids is when you're going to catch me on my knees. And God, I need you. I may play a little bit about me, but I don't play about them.
I hear you.
So I said, God, please, if you just make a way for me to care for these kids and take care of these kids, I do whatever you tell me to do. I move when you tell me to move. Any job you give me, I'll take this job, and I'll work it until you tell me that it's time to go. And I got a job at a nursing home. You see how I like my hair and nails? 30 times worse. 30. Ew, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to do it. It's nasty. I
worked in one once too. Oh, girl.
I didn't want to do it. When I went there, I was literally shaking. I was shaking. But at the time is when they started having the pictures on the phone, and I just kept looking at my baby's pictures. I would literally stuff tissue in my nose because I couldn't deal with the stench of the place. And I said, okay, God. I ended up staying at this job for 3.5 years.
Wow.
Loved it. I love serving people. It was.
So you're saying, wait a minute. In the play, it was stanking, and I know, because I mean, it is not easy. But then you found the door of service in the place you least expected it. But see, you stayed.
Yeah.
See, a lot of us walk into something, if it don't feel like we think it should feel, if it don't smell like we think it should smell, we walk out. Leave it behind. And just like trauma. Everyone thinks that trauma was just trauma. No, trauma, that door got drop kicked in, but there was a doggy door on it that you didn't see before it got knocked on top of you. And your future blessing was at the same time born into the process of becoming. And your blessing was yours before you walked into that place, but you needed to be there long enough to be able to walk out of there with it. Come on now. So keep going.
So I ended up doing that for 3.5 years, and then they broke down into smaller homes. And so the supervisor, she worked in the kitchen, and they had to end up making her a floor supervisor. At this time, I was a lead now. So now I know the job. Like, I run my home, I run the job, so I know it. So she wanted to have seniorities, and she just kept disrespecting me. And I'm like, girl, stop playing with me.
I already know what you did. What you say?
Because this is about
Well, sit right there. No,
this
is nowhere. Go home. You lucky I can't get this hoop earring out.
This is about Kevin and Messiah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna fumble it, not even for me. So I took a lot.
You had to bite your tongue.
I did.
You had
But
to humble yourself.
I did. And
How'd you do it?
I kept thinking about my kids until one day she just stepped face to face.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she did.
Did she leave with any teeth?
It didn't. Nope.
She didn't leave with no teeth?
Because when I got out my body, she ran out the house and grabbed her purse and went to call the police.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, the bully.
You fight her? You fought her?
No, I don't have to fight.
So what'd you do?
I just was disrespecting her like she was disrespecting me.
Okay.
You know, I don't care what you say over there. Don't come in my safe space. Because every day I leave this house, I have the exact same mission. Again, it's all Kevin and Messiah. When I leave this house, my mission is to come home. I don't care about the money. I don't care about anything. I got to make it back in this door. I pray every night, God, if you take my life, let it be while my children are surrounding me. I don't ever want them to hear of mommy died in a car or mommy died. So I don't do certain things when I'm outside. I don't do certain things because everything affects my children. And so they end up calling us to HR. Mind you, we got into it on the floor around the residence. So that is what I did wrong. Because again, we move in how God tell us to move.
Yes.
You know, I'm from the streets. I don't do no snitching. But this time I did. Every time she said something to me, I sent the email to corporate. And this was totally out of my character. So I ended up being blessed. My mom said, Missy, everything happens for a reason. You've been at this job for 3 years. I've never gotten in trouble. Because remember, I made a deal with God. I can't play. I can't play.
Right.
She said, God is letting you stay home with your babies now. Apply for unemployment. I said, Mama, they ain't finna give me no unemployment because it says conduct. What is arguing?
Y'all got fired?
Yes.
Oh.
Both of us did. Both of us did.
So real quick, before we go past that intersection, so since then, have you learned the difference between reacting and responding? It took me decades, because that's why they call it a knee-jerk reaction, because I hadn't learned how to walk around the situation 360 degrees. I hadn't learned what this represents before I act from my fears and ego. I need to take a look at what's important to me from top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, side to side, corner to corner, and corner to corner. Because if I am not fiercely protective of my calling / blessings, it ain't gonna be pretty.
I don't know the difference, and you can explain it more, but I still
a reaction is like, I used to be that way, reactive. What you say? I didn't care what it cost me. And later I'd be like, when you're sitting in the drunk tank with a toilet paper roll underneath your head, smelling and stuff, you're like, something told me not to. I knew I should have just kept my mouth. See what I'm saying? Following the first mind. When the first mind, you fall into second guessing, and that's that ass.
So I did respond. But I did respond. I responded. And the reason I feel that then and I feel now is because I went through her bothering me for months, which is why I was sending the emails. That's why I was saying I didn't know what I was doing at the time. But when you step in my safe space, I'm going to move you. I'm going to move you. And the reason I'm going to move you again is what I just told y'all. I have to make it home to my children. People die in the workplace every day. If somebody's stepping in your face and you're not doing anything to warrant this, then you have the right to defend yourself, and I will defend myself. So when I went to corporate, I didn't lie. I wrote out my statement. I let them know exactly what happened. She had been there for 19 years.
19 years?
Yes. And I was there for 3. And when I walked away from that job, I swear to everybody that's watching, I never missed the unemployment check. They had to pay me out for my PTO. I had a full check for my overtime. When I talked to the unemployment people, he said, have you ever gotten in trouble for this? And I thought about what Mama had said, and I said, no. He said, thank you, Miss Brooks. They took care of me for 2 years. I sat at home and nurtured my children for 2 years. For 2 years.
You probably needed to be doing that more than anything else anyway.
I did. I did, because they were getting older and I was able to put myself through college during that time. So I have a degree in criminal justice. And right as my unemployment was about to end, and I had went through school, I got approved for my Section 8. So I moved my children out to Wisconsin, right?
Okay.
But it wasn't for us. I thought it was for us, but when I got there, because we was talking about all my different hustles, when I got there, they stopped my unemployment and I lost my car the exact same week.
Ooh.
So I'm like, okay, God, what do I do? What do I do now? So somebody I knew out there was like, well, girl, you could go to the public aid office and you could get this check and you could, you got Section 8, just live the life. And I'm like,
Right. Live life. No. Right. What you talking about, Willis? Right.
No, I said,
the life, but not the Bathrobe life. Okay.
Okay.
So what did you do?
So I went up to public aid. I said, okay, I got to feed my kids. So when I went, I showed them my degree and everything that I had accomplished. She said, girl, I'm not about to make you go through these classes because you got a degree. You just basically need to apply for work. So I figured out how to tweak the system where I didn't have to sit up and fill out applications because I hate that. And so I end up getting a call back from the bus company. Now, keep in mind, my auntie's been trying to get me to drive CTA for years. Girl, just go and get you. I don't want to drive. Do I look like a bus driver?
Okay, that big old thing. I mean, I hit everything. Go ahead. I'm just saying.
So I get down there. It's the bus company. So they're like, hey, we want to call you in for an interview. So I said, okay, well, I'll do it. That's that little integrity thing. I've been applying for the jobs, but since, let me just go.
Yeah.
So then I say, let me research the job. Cause at this time you got a degree, you think you know a little something. So I said, let me check the history of the company. Let's see what they talking about. I plan on going in there
Chicago Transit Authority. You check it
out. The bus company in Wisconsin.
Oh, in Wisconsin. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and so he was trying to get you to work it here, and you said no, but you got it, and what's in front of you? A bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the one thing it said is, bring your kids to work. Ding, 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 ding. I'm sold. Now I want to be a bus driver.
So wait, bring them to work. They had a daycare or they rode on the bus with you?
They rode on the bus with me. I'm a school bus driver. Kids are welcome.
Bus.
Kids are welcome.
I could see you doing that.
Kids are welcome. So when I went to the interview, the guy says, tell me a time you solved the problem. I said, right now. He said, what? I'm out here by myself. I'm a single mom. I need employment. And you guys let me bring my kids to work. I'm here. You got me. And so he had me pass the test. I passed the test and everything. So they had me come to training. So I'm sitting in the training and I'm learning everything. And so they say, okay, well, this is the thing. You can't get paid until you get a permit. You see your face?
Yeah, I saw my face. See what I mean? I'm like, what?
That's how my face was.
Okay, so what happened, girl? What happened there?
I said, so how long do I have to work here? They said, well, as soon as you get the permit. I said, when can I get the permit? Whenever you feel comfortable. How many times do I get? You get 3 times. I went to the DMV right after class. I was the only one past the test. I swear to God, I was the only one. Ain't no words finna
like
stop
you been
me.
Driving that school bus. I bet. Did you parallel park it?
I just got my permit. That's what was allowed me to get behind the wheel. So I just did the school portion, but I'm not afraid of words.
Yeah.
So I passed it. And so after that, I end up doing that for like 3.5 years. And then my best friend, she owns an income tax company. And she's like, girl, you need to do taxes. You just need to do taxes. And I'm like, I don't care about nothing. I'm telling y'all, my whole mission, all my life has been, I got to make money for my kids. So if you tell me that I could do it or I qualify, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. And plus they said that it takes several streams in order to become wealthy. So I just keep on creating these streams. If it's something that's I need to do to provide for Kevin and Messiah, and I do the research, I apply, and there goes that. If it's a little license that I need to get because I don't have a background, because I wasn't a pack runner and I didn't let the dudes ruin my life. Okay. So now when I find out what I qualify for, I just get it. I just get it.
So all of that led you to the silent fight. When you started saying, you know, I need to give some of this away, you know, what is the silent fight and who's in this fight?
So the silent fight. So let me go back to, y'all can see the sign. My mom's name is up there, Francine Neal. So the back end of that is my mother passed away March 16th, 2021. And we had always said that I was going to start a podcast. I need to start a podcast. I need to start a podcast. You're going to start a podcast. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. But I wasn't quite right with it. And when she died, I sat down because they say the Father's not going to give you more than you can bear. And when she died, I sat down and I said, what is it that I am supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be doing? Because it's something that I am supposed to be doing, right? And then it just came to me, I need to start my podcast. I need to start my podcast. I need to give what I have to the world. Now, here's the thing. I need the world to know my mother. I need the world to know my mother. My mother was a 700-pound Black lady that's been disabled in the bed for like 25 years.
What?
Yeah. She raised us on public housing.
Wow.
She took care of her mother. She was the baby of 7 people, but she was always the one that was overweight. And I watched people discard my mother and treat her like she was nothing because she was overweight. Okay. But this lady has so much dignity and so much pride. The hair, the nails, everything me and my sister do, it's from my mother. We would have beauticians come to my mother's bedside because that's the type of woman she was. Right? But now knowing about divine purpose and everything, she was amazing before she had her kids. She was up. She didn't get pregnant in the bed. She was up. She was active. She did her thing. Right? But somehow along the way, her destiny was to be in that bed. And I feel like it was so that she can love on us. So she can love on us, so that she can educate us. She wasn't able to go out into the world anymore, but she poured everything she knew into us.
Wow.
Everything. I watched when she died, how the doctors at the hospitals treated her like she was nothing because of her weight. Okay. I almost went to jail a lot of times about my baby. And I just wanted, that's why you see Francine Neal. That's why you dropped the purple hearts, because I need the world to understand that she was more than just some 700-pound Black lady that laid in the bed and didn't contribute to the world. Because of her love and her grace on me, I am here today and I can pour into the world. So when you know me and you want to know who raised me, you got to ask the question, who raised you? My girl. My girl.
Wow. That's
So
I'm just ringing the bell. Keep going.
So we got to the silent fight. And when I decided that I had to do something, now I got to give to the world. Now I have to act on it. And me and my little cousin, I said, we gotta record these conversations. We be talking about stuff that people really need to hear about. Right. And so one day she called me. It was August 1st. I was just laying in my bed. And my little cousin said, it's time, Missy. Just out the blue. She said, Missy, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time tonight. I said, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
She said, get on live. You got to do it tonight. We're not waiting another day. Get on tonight. And I've been doing it ever since.
I'm going to say something here. Y'all, you know what? That's real. That's real stuff. You know, that's how Bathrobe Moments happened. When I was in that spot and I stood right upstairs with Lucy right here in my hand, I said, God, I need something early in the day. you know, because I would get up and I had this wet wool blanket of shame and anger still on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wore it like a tattoo. Okay. And I said, God, I need anything, just like you did, anything that can help me get the trajectory of my divine purpose in alignment with you as quickly as possible from the time my feet hit the floor.
Yes.
And he said, well, sit down, open your phone up, go on Facebook, go live, and call it Bathrobe Moments. But I said, but I ain't got a camera. I ain't got a microphone. I don't have a light thing or the green screen or none of that stuff those people have. Because that's your problem, Lauren. You always go to the jugular vein of things you don't have
Don't have.
instead of going directly into the heart of those things you already have been blessed with.
Absolutely.
And I sat my black ass down, opened it up, and here we are,
Yes.
7 years later.
Yes.
So I'm telling you all, see what I'm saying? You got to move, like you said at the top of the hour. When God or what you ascribe to be greater than you tells you to move, you better move.
Yes.
You
Yes.
better move, right?
Yes.
So what is the purpose of the silent fight? Who's it for, and what do they get after finding the silent fight, meaning your site and all the places that they can go? Who's it for?
So the silent fight. So how I picked the name, I started doing like any little free Facebook coaching or whatever people, motivation speakers were willing to give that I could afford. So I had one with this guy. He does crazy podcasts or whatever. So he was having a coaching class and he started talking about the names. And he says, it needs to be no more than 3 words. But you don't need to put yourself in a category where you can't pivot. You got to be able to pivot, right?
Don't paint yourself in a corner.
Exactly. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to think because that is so me. Like all my hustles, that's me. I get bored fast. So I just get the doing stuff, get the trying stuff, right?
Yeah.
So then now mind you, this is like a millionaire. So I'm thinking, okay, I said the silent fight. I said some other things, and then he said I said the silent fight, and he goes, "Oh my God, I love that. I love it. I love it. You should really do that."
Right.
So then now I'm committed to the name. I'm committed to the name because I was waiting for the confirmation.
Right.
Now I'm committed to it.
Right.
Now what do I do with it? Okay, I went and got everything so that it's mine. And then I says, so one thing that we've never talked about, I want a non-for-profit organization for domestic violence victims because I have a cousin that was killed by her husband. And I was also a domestic violence victim.
Okay.
And I just want a situation where we can pull people out of the homes and we can give them luxury living and we can give them training so that when they leave the home, they are self-sufficient. Because when you talk to anybody that's dealing with domestic violence, it's 9 times out of 10, well, he takes care of me. Well, I can't feed my kids. I have no education, right?
Right.
But if you pull me out of this situation and you put me in some room with a box and all the women is in here and everybody's sad and sorry, then I'm going to want to go back.
Right.
So my non-for-profit organization is, I want it to be where we create situations to pull them out. And if you go back, that is your choice.
Right.
But understand that we have created your vision for you because everything is a choice, right?
Amen.
So that's why I thought about the silent fight because it's unzipping. We're gonna speak out for it. But then I just start thinking I can't just do domestic violence because I'll get bored of doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Sure.
But what I don't get bored with doing is talking to people, all different walks of life, dealing with different situations. And so that's what my platform is. We all get together. We talk live about whatever. I've had people dealing with sicknesses. I've had people that's doing weight loss journeys. I've had people that's entrepreneurs, everything. But that's who I am.
I love it. And man, we could have, too bad this ain't a 2-hour show, but we'll get you back. And you and I are in, I almost said Mexico. Lord, just we going to Mexico. I claim it.
He said it.
I claim it in the name. Right. I claim it, Mexico. But this weekend, it's Miami. We both arrived there Thursday, staying through the weekend. I can't wait. We're going to do some great things together. And I'm going to get you back here. We might even do some lives, you guys, while we're there. But what I do know for a fact is that you're going to continue pouring into the world. For those of you who are interested in following Missy and The Silent Fight, or just continuing today's dialogue, here's where you can find her. On top, you see Facebook, The Silent Fight Missy, and scrolling along the bottom, her Instagram. Reach out and touch Missy, and I guarantee you she's going to touch you in return, just like she's done this complete hour today. Missy, I want to thank you so much for pouring into us, girl. You gave me more than I ever expected. My cup runneth over, and that's what you want, y'all. I ain't heard nothing where it says my cup runneth out, doing anything good for anybody. So listen, get behind your story and do whatever you have to do to push it through that door of opportunity. Don't live behind shame. Don't live behind blame. Live behind your mission in this world and push it all the way across that finish line known as legacy. So I just want to thank you guys. Listen, Missy, I will see you Thursday in Miami. And for the rest of you tomorrow, I have Ashley coming aboard. She donated a bunch of beauty stuff to our kids at the Power of We Symposium. And she took so much time with each little bag and putting little.
I met her.
Yes, and she put little things inside that said, that were inspiring and motivating. This is a Caucasian woman who just went the extra mile. And I said, whatever I can do to get your name and what you do closer into the world, further into the world, I want to do it. So she's here tomorrow. Missy, get out there. Keep doing what you're doing. And guess what? Same thing for you all. Listen. Like I said earlier, and I mean it, remember this, write it down, stick it where it matters, on the refrigerator, on your visor in your car. I don't care where, but just remember this. God does not make mistakes. He makes it interesting.
Yes.
Isn't that what you're looking for? I thought so. Listen, I'll meet you guys out front tomorrow morning, God willing, on the front porch, and we will do it all again. Another illuminated conversation, fulfilling the promise that when we come together, something great is going to happen, just like today. Missy, I love you, girl. Thank you. Sorry for holding you guys back a little extra. Yes. Well, say anything you want to leave everybody with before we get out.
Just follow me, you guys. And like I say, every week, just give me a chance. I won't disappoint. I will not disappoint.
I heard that. You guys get out. Be the blessing you want to see in the world. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you.